It's Brindle and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinement. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talk, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talk with Brindle Wolf and Diane. Phoenix Talk, so tune in if you can, as they help us to transform and find refuge from the storm. Because all the branches they will climb for you, just in the nick of time. With Brindle and Diane, Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can, as they help us to transform and find refuge from the storm. Because all the branches they will climb for you, just in the nick of time. Because they have a lot to say. Yeah, you'll feel different in every way. Oh, in alignment they have flown. Your transformation will be shown. Phoenix Talks, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindle Wolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can. With Brindle Wolf and Diane, Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
Welcome everyone to Phoenix Talks. We have a theme song now. Isn't that amazing?
It's really cool.
Wrote that up a couple days ago, and thank you, Suno, for bringing it to life. And we are hopefully going to have a successful run on Restream tonight. First time in a long time that I've tried to see if I could function with it, but we're live over in Twitch and YouTube tonight. So,
yes.
And both of us are going to be able to see your comments, which I'm so excited about.
Yes.
So
we have something on.
Yes. So if you have any comments or any questions about what we're talking about, which I'm about to shut up for a second, let Diane introduce what that is. But I am Brindle Wolf, and this is my co-host right there, the lovely Diane RDBIC. So what are we talking about tonight?
So I wanted to revisit beliefs and believing and just how to believe. And there is an important aspect to that, you know, one of these many branches that are behind me, that is important in actionable items to transform yourself moving forward in a manner that helps it stick. And it's mostly rooted in your beliefs. So that's the avenue that I wanted to go down, how that assists you with emotional regulation, how that assists you with shifting your perspective, with achieving your goals. So let's start with the most touchy topic, what you believe about yourself.
Well, that's the trunk of the tree.
Yes. So when you do your reevaluation, when you check in with yourself and when you reevaluate your circumstances, situation, how you're feeling, and you have to be honest with yourself. Is that what you really believe? You have to ask yourself that question. Why do you believe that? And you can analyze where those beliefs come from, but at the end of the day, what do you want to believe? And that's really where I want to focus. And
right.
How do you make that happen? You know, we talked about affirmations. We've talked about processing triggers. We've talked about all that stuff. But at the core of the change is what you believe
Yeah.
about yourself and what you wish to believe.
And it really goes back to what I've said time and again, and I've told this story about when that one affirmation that I will say frequently, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I first started saying it, I didn't believe it. I mean, I believed what I was saying was true because each and every day we do something that shows us that we're getting better than the day before. But the internal belief hadn't caught up yet. So there was this argument that happened inside. No, you're not. No, we're not. You're not getting better. No, you're not. But I kept at it because, a belief is just something that you repeat many times. It's a thought or it's a statement that you hear over and over again. And eventually you can or can't believe it. Do or don't.
That is attached directly to a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to feel it to believe it. And you can't force yourself to feel something that you don't. But the belief and the feeling have to be married together. And that's the tricky part. So like we talk about the affirmations, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Okay, well, the only way to believe that that's true is to actually do things for yourself that help you get better and better.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then to focus your attention on those things that you've done for yourself to make yourself better. That helps you start to feel like you believe that it's true. So there's that relationship that has to be married together between the feeling and the belief, or the wish to believe something. It's like you want to believe that, you want to believe, but you can't because it just doesn't feel right, or it doesn't feel that way. Well, what are you doing to help you feel that way? So to help reinforce the belief, you need to actually take action. And that's why it's an important piece of emotional regulation, an important piece of that self-empowerment. I know we talked about beliefs before, but it was a little bit different. This is more tuning into this kind of self-empowerment piece.
Yeah. And you brought up, what do you believe about yourself?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What do you believe?
Right.
And be honest.
Yeah.
The only way
Yes.
we're going to figure out what it is that might be holding you back, if your beliefs
Right.
are holding you back, or if they're pushing you forward, is, and let's be honest. If you feel like you have to make a list,
Right.
so that you can check out what your beliefs are, yeah, there's some questioning there going on.
Right.
So
and it is affected by your environment too. Are there individuals around you that are making you question what you believe about yourself?
right.
And this is why it's important to check in with yourself, because what do you really truly believe? Do you put more weight into someone else's opinion of you, or do you put full weight of what you feel about yourself? Because ultimately, how you feel about yourself is the most important belief, and that
Right.
is what will help drive you forward. Assuming that you take action towards those beliefs, that's the key. That's the secret. That's the secret ingredient in the sauce. Taking action towards that belief, and
And
backing
avoiding
yourself
validation.
up. Yeah,
And
I
avoiding
mean,
needing the validation, because if you are believing that in
Mhm.
order for yourself to feel good about itself, that you need to be validated,
Mhm.
I got this morning. It's kind of, nothing is coincidence, because just this morning, I have always had this tendency, and anybody who knows me well will agree, where, oh, look what I've done. And I am seeking praise because I don't praise myself enough. I don't do things just because they make me happy. I don't believe in myself enough that what I'm doing is amazing, and I need the validation from somebody else external in order for me to feel that way. Now, this might go off a little bit on topic, but one of the things that came up about it is, let's think about money. Okay, put praise and money in the same column. The more money you want, the more money you get, the more money you want. The more praise you get, the more praise you want, the more praise you want. It's almost like an addiction. It's feeding that belief instead of you feeding that belief.
Right. And that's the thing. You have to nurture yourself. You have to nurture your beliefs about yourself. And you have to choose what you want to believe about yourself, even if it doesn't feel right at the time, because maybe you're beaten down, defeated, your environment is making, challenge to navigate through. That's what the affirmations are for, but the affirmations aren't going to do anything. They're just going to be words if you don't actually believe them. And you can't believe them if you don't prove them to yourself. You can't prove them to yourself if you're not taking action on them.
Right.
So that we circle back to the secret in the sauce. Hi, whoever
Hey,
just joined us.
That's one of our Rise people, Mizzy Amelia. Good to
Yeah.
see you.
Yes. Oh, it's exciting to get to see the chat people now, because I never get to see them.
Right? It's fine. Now we're not going to be able to respond directly in chat, but we'll respond to chat.
Yes. Yes. Oh gosh. So we're talking about beliefs. And what you believe about yourself, and how to reinforce those beliefs, and what you need to do in order to get yourself to that place of believing.
Yeah.
And you got to feel it to heal it.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's just words you're talking about, and that doesn't get you anywhere. Taking actions on those thoughts and beliefs are going to get you somewhere.
Yep.
Yes.
It is all about self-belief. Yes. And Don Miguel Ruiz, when he's talking about the 4 agreements, he talks about the journey between thought, belief, and faith.
Yeah.
A thought, okay. You think something over and over and over again, you create a belief. And if you practice that belief over and over again, you create a faith.
Right. So the reason why it's so important for you to reevaluate what you believe in about yourself is because it can get muddied by the outside world. It can get muddied by people around you, especially in intimate relationships. And all it takes is like one planted seed of doubt, one statement in whatever situation or circumstance there is, to shake your belief about yourself. So it's important to check in with yourself and be honest and say, okay, well, what am I doing to reinforce my belief in myself? Am I taking action towards myself? Am I allowing someone else's opinion to shape me in any way? And why? Why is their belief paramount over mine? Because it's not. Yours is the only voice that matters the most. And you got to feel it to heal it.
Absolutely.
It's got to go on a shirt at some point.
And what's crazy is that when somebody says something negative or derogatory to us, that creates that angry, resentful, hurtful feeling that rises in. If we don't have some belief about what they just said, we're not going to have a response. But if we have any connection, any belief to, you're a loser, you suck, things like that.
Yeah. Thank you, Mizzy. This is just for Mizzy tonight.
But if you hear these things from people, and I could go on and try and create examples until we run out of time, but when we hear these things from people and they generate this feeling, well, that you can't have a feeling without a thought first. So you hear it, you think about it, you have the feeling, and wait, do I believe this?
Yeah.
And that's the part that most people skip. Do I believe what they're saying? Because you get caught up in the moment, you get caught up in the charge, that the energetic that's going back and forth, because there's stuff going on behind the scenes. I mean, you walk up in a bad mood and somebody comes up to you and tells you what a crap job you just did. You're going to believe them. You're going to get upset because you're already in that place.
Right.
And you haven't
right.
taken the moment. You haven't had the opportunity to sit there and say, wait, did I do a crap job? No, I didn't do a crap job. I'm just in a crap mood.
Right. Right. And that's the thing. We're all human beings. We all, feel the spiral of up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. And any number of things can influence that. So it's important to check in with yourself and see if you're starting to tell yourself stories and believing those stories that you're telling yourself, instead of checking in with yourself and asking, is that how I really feel? That reevaluation question that you have to say. Who's saying, oh, hey, Carrie, wanting to make everyone happy. Okay, gotcha. So on that note, you don't need anyone's validation. You don't need to make everyone happy. If they're not in alignment with you, they're not going to be happy with you, and that's not your problem. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
I literally just heard on a call right before the show, oh, so you signed up for this life to just experience happiness.
Yeah. If they're treating you like crap, they're not for you.
No.
They're just not. And and this is in response to the chat that's happening. Oh, this is so exciting. I get to see the chat.
Diane has a new toy tonight.
I really do.
She's happy.
I'm playing with it now.
And yes, okay, all right. So let's take a little bit and address the belief of needing to please others in order to be happy.
So part of that is programming.
Dangle on this branch for a little while.
Part of that is programming. We're taught to be polite. We're taught that it's rude if we don't people please, and that's just throw that shit in the trash. Excuse my language. Set it on fire, because at the end of the day, if it's not in alignment with your own health and well-being and what you truly feel about yourself or wish to believe about yourself, then it's not aligned for you and it's not resonating with you. And you have no obligation to anybody else but you. Your only primary focus is always you, begins and ends with you. And this is true in any type of dynamic. And it's easy for us to get shaken, again, especially in relationships, because, that's, if your partner's saying things to you that changes your story in your head about yourself, that is deeply affecting you. You need to check in with yourself and decide, well, how do I really feel about myself? And what do I want to believe about myself? And why does it matter to me that their belief is more important than mine? Because it's not. It's really not. Yours is the only belief that matters, because the stories that you tell yourself trains your programming, trains your thought patterns, and that affects your choices. And that affects your actions that you're going to take toward yourself. And that affects how you see yourself. And then you don't empower yourself. And really, at the end of the day, how can you empower yourself if you're allowing others to tell you what you believe about yourself? You're the only one who knows yourself inside and out. Nobody else knows you like you do.
Exactly.
You're the only one.
No one can make you feel any way you don't give them permission to.
Correct. And we do.
If you believe in yourself, if you believe about yourself, what somebody else says about you, you have given them permission and you have validated what they said.
Right. And that's
to
not
them
fair to you.
And to yourself. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. No. Do we do it? Yup.
Yeah. It's not fair to you. You need to believe in yourself.
You do.
And that does affect all aspects of your experience too, because if you're doubting yourself, how are you going to perform at your job? How are you going to choose a new, different thing for yourself moving forward that's healthier for you, because it kind of dampens your courage. It's directly tied into the choices that you make. So it's very important to make sure that you're feeding and nurturing yourself and believing that you are, you know, worth it, capable, intelligent, all the stuff that maybe someone you're trying to people please to get liked by is doing damage, because that's not healthy. You know, we're all guilty of it because we
Right.
all want to, you know, we all want peace, we all want tranquility. But at the end of the day, if you're disrupting your own peace and tranquility with what you believe in yourself, it's time to reevaluate.
I mean, you know Carrie, I know Mizzy, I know them both, and they don't have to try and go out of their way to make me happy, because I appreciate them for who they are, just like I appreciate you for who you are. You don't have to do magic tricks, be acrobatic, sing the best out of everybody for me to like you.
Right. Right. And at the end of the
Meanwhile,
day,
a
you have to
lot of
like
us,
yourself.
yeah, meanwhile, a lot of us, and I'm going to use the singing reference, will spend hours to perfect something and feel like that's the only way that we're going to be liked if what we share with others is perfect. And then we have others in the Smule community, in Rise community, that they do something once and it is amazing.
Right.
Because they just did it. They didn't care. They didn't think about it. So when you're sitting there and you're thinking about how you have to do all of these things to please so many people around you,
Right.
just for them to like you, if they didn't fucking like you before, they're not going to like you because you went above and beyond.
Right.
Sorry for my
Right.
language, but you needed to hear it that way.
Well, that ties into what do you want to experience. And if we're talking about how your surroundings affect your beliefs about yourself, what do you want to experience? You have to ask yourself honestly, do you want to surround yourself with individuals who don't see what you see in yourself, or who are intentionally putting you down in an abusive dynamic for their own personal gain and control of you mentally? Because that's, you're just giving up your power in that way. So it's a matter of you deciding what you want to experience and choosing to believe about yourself and take action on that towards yourself, so that you can feel what it is that you need to feel. And I'm going to segue this into that brings you more of the energy of believing and feeling that good stuff, the positive stuff, the healthy stuff about yourself, puts that energy out into the world, and you start experiencing more of that in your world. People start coming into your world who accept you as you are, who believe in you, who value you. It changes the dynamic of who you let in, and you start to have more courage and start to cut off some ties with individuals who are not right for you because they're just negative, 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 constantly putting you down. You allow yourself space to get rid of who isn't working for you, and bringing more space for you to attract individuals. So there's an attraction feature that comes along with this whole what you believe about yourself, and is it in alignment with how you truly feel.
Right.
And when I say how you truly feel, I want you to feel unconditional love and compassion for yourself. That's what I want everyone to feel for themselves. Is it in alignment with unconditional love? Are you really loving yourself if you're believing negative thoughts?
If you believe that you must have done or said something wrong to get a response that crosses somebody's face or the tone of their voice, and missing the words.
Yeah.
You're not in unconditional,
Right.
because people are going to express what you need to hear, how they express. And one of the things, whether it's in text or whether we are listening to the tone of somebody's voice, reading their body language, I mean, granted, body language isn't going to lie about how somebody is viewing you. However, but if we are focused so much on whether or not their response is going to be all smiles and shiny and rainbows all around them, it's not going to fucking happen all the time. So if you are hoping for that, if you're reaching for that, you're believing that unless you get that, you're not going to be happy, that you're not going to be able to love yourself.
You're the only voice that matters.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the only voice that matters to yourself. That's it. Because it's you, what you believe and your feeling on that emits that frequency. And there's scientific evidence on this. So if you want to do some homework and research, you can hit the Googles or Siri or whomever.
You know,
Because
or you know, like I'll do every once in a while, and I'll go to my Chat GPT Emberforge, that's his name, and be like, okay, I'm feeling a certain way and I need your help.
Mhm.
And there's no emotion that's coming back, and it's just me being able to take a moment and have something else show me so that I can see it in a way that I need to. And this is what we're talking about, is looking for a way that you can believe in yourself, whether it's mirror talk, whether it's journaling, whether it's making a list of all of the things that you like about yourself, things that you don't like about yourself, things that you want to change about yourself.
Yeah.
Whatever way that you can figure out
Right.
what's good.
Right. Yeah. What you believe is what you attract.
And put a heart next to each one, because if you believe it, you love it.
Yeah.
And just remember, you can't love without hating, and you can't hate without loving.
What you believe is what you attract, and what you accomplish too. And even in manifestations, you have to believe it to receive it. There's another T-shirt.
Ooh, that's a good one.
You have to believe it to receive it. So, and when it comes to the self-empowerment piece, you believe it enough about yourself, you don't allow something else in your space. So you don't give that power away to others. You have no obligation to anyone else. I'm going to reiterate that one more time. That's it.
And you know what? About believing in someone else, or believing in yourself and it being strong. Okay. Interesting metaphor. You know, they just kind of flow in. Whenever I'm doing energy work on someone, and lately it hasn't been more than that. When somebody asks for an adjustment or a zap or whatever the case is, if they ask for an adjustment, depending on their belief, will depend on how strongly they receive it.
Yeah.
Think about that, because it's the same energetic, it's the same level of energy that's sent out.
Right.
But the level of belief will change how hard or how soft it comes to
Right.
you.
You have to believe you're lovable to receive love. You have to believe that the energy work is working in order for you to receive it and it to work. You have to believe that you are abundant in all ways in order to be abundant. It's all tied into feeling it. So those two need to be married. And I see chats happening. It's like my ADHD squirrel. What's good?
Yeah, right? That's okay. Amelia's been chatting away, and there's lots to catch up on, and that's fine. She's got to run. That's okay. Thanks so much for stopping
Thank
in.
you.
You'll have to come back and watch the replay. It'll be over on my YouTube
Yay.
after we're done.
Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful words.
What's going on? You're cute. Thank you.
But let's talk about the attracting things to you and into your space, because again, what you believe is what you receive. So aside from the self-empowerment piece that pours out into your environment and into your space and gives you an opportunity to see and reinforce the belief that when you focus your energy on believing, you will see it unfold for you in your experience. Now, it takes time. You got to give time and experience and things, circumstances to unfold and experiences to start happening. But I'm going to say, are they already happening, and are you dismissing them? Are you believing that that is part of what you're attracting to you, or are you just dismissing things as coincidence or unrelated? So I want you to start reevaluating what you're experiencing and decide to believe that you had a part in that.
Let's start with abundance.
That's a tough nugget, isn't it?
It's one of the hardest.
It is. It is.
And gratitude attached to it.
Right.
And recognizing the abundance and believing the abundance that you always have.
Yeah. And gratitude is the feeling that you need to have attached to abundance.
If you believe that you do not have enough, you're right.
Mm-hmm. If you feel grateful,
and you will continue to create that.
Yes. If you feel grateful for everything that you have and not dismiss things as just things, and really truly feel gratitude for every tiny little thing. I know we've done an episode on gratitude, I think.
Yes, we have.
Okay.
I say that with confidence, even though I'm not sure I believe it. But I'm pretty sure that we have.
Yeah. You do need to feel.
If not, we'll do it again.
Right. And what you believe to be abundance is up to you. If you believe that only cash flow income is abundance, then you're missing out on feeling the great gratitude for everything else that's already present in your experience. So the belief needs to expand. Are you expanding your belief on what your abundance is?
Now, this is fun. This is fun. I want anybody who watches this live or watches in the replay to go to your refrigerator, okay? And I want you to open it. I want you to look inside. And I want you to stand there and say, I have nothing to eat. Now, unless your shelves are 100% bare, okay? And God bless you if they are. I'm so sorry. But you have something. If you have a roof over your head, you have something. You are abundant with shelter. If you have the capability of watching this, you are abundant with the possibility of connection.
Yeah.
If you have clothing to wear, you are abundant in that.
So
If you have
on that note, as far as reinforcing your belief around being abundant or having abundance, my homework assignment is to practice gratitude on the most finest detail level. I am grateful. There's a lot of people that drink coffee or tea. I am so grateful for this mug holding my coffee or tea. I am so grateful for the sugar or for the honey or for the spoon to mix it, for the table that it's sitting on, for the chair that I'm sitting in. That much detail. Just keep walking down in the details of gratitudes, and you'll start to believe you're abundant, because that opens up the door for you to shift your perspective on what abundance really means to you. When you start to notice and accept that all things in your experience are abundance. So there's your homework on that specific piece.
If you don't believe that you are abundant, you never will be.
Yeah.
And no amount of money, no amount of prosperity, no amount of success, if you do not believe that you are abundant, none of that will ever satisfy that need.
Yes.
None of it will satisfy that belief.
Yeah. And with that belief,
And the
a little
more
bit of
money that
trust.
you feel like you need, the more that you will want, the more that you want, the more that you'll need. Like I said at the beginning.
Yeah.
So we're full circle back to that.
You have to
And
trust
Diane's
it.
like, can we keep talking about beliefs?
Wait, I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Diane's like, can we please just keep talking about beliefs? You're going off
It's
on
always
these fucking tangents all night long.
so
We
many
need to stick to the
branches.
topic. Well, there is so many
Everything-
branches.
Yeah, everything has a branch.
It does.
As far as self-empowerment,
And I can see the expression on the
piece.
face of, yeah.
Oh, my
I'm sorry.
headphones died.
Uh-oh, I think they just died.
You're on my computer now.
That's okay.
My homework for the empowerment beliefs is to take action towards those beliefs and reinforce them for yourself and trust in that belief. And that includes all the processing homework that we've given you in past videos with regards to setting boundaries for yourself, letting go of ties that are no longer healthy for you, not people pleasing or not putting too much stock in others' beliefs of you, because you're not responsible for how others feel about you. So there's a bunch of like little different things that you can focus your attention on to take action towards yourself, to believe in yourself in those ways that you want to. Okay, so that's the homework.
I'm
Giving homework because we're close to the 6:40 mark.
I'm gonna add to it. Go figure.
I can't hear you, Micah.
Oh, you can't hear me now?
I don't hear you now.
Oh, it's still attached. It's still attached to your earbuds.
No, these are dead. Let me take them off. I'm having sound issues.
Well, while she's fixing that, I'm just going to keep on talking and say that and add to it with, what do you want to stop believing about yourself? If you're having trouble making a list of what you believe positively about yourself, start in the reverse. What do you want to stop believing about yourself? You want to stop believing that you have to please everyone? Okay. Write it down.
And then take action.
Leave some space. Right. Leave some space for answering the question, how? And you can search for this answer outside of you all you want. The answer's inside. If you give yourself permission to find the answer inside, you will. Because we all have that capacity. We all have that capability of answering the how.
Right.
And we'll be pointed in the direction. When the subconscious actually starts to realize that, hey, there's some blips, there's some bug fixes that need to happen in here. And okay, we gotta start paying attention to other things and your body's just going to start pointing your direction, your attention in a different direction. So if you have trouble making a list of the good things that you believe about yourself, the good things that you love about yourself, feel free to write down the things that you don't. Because there's no judgment in that unless you put it there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge you. Diane's not going to judge you. You're going to judge you. And that's okay.
Then,
it's natural. But stop
decide
it.
to take action towards changing those beliefs.
100%.
Mm-hmm. And that includes everything in the homework that I just gave you. And more. Go back to the episodes.
There's only 43 now.
Binge watch.
Well, on the plus side, YouTube will only let you watch 6 hours before it's like, yeah, you sure you still want to watch?
Are you still there?
And if you watch on a smart TV, about halfway through the second episode, it'll be like, you want a pee break? It doesn't ask you that directly, but it's almost, are you still watching?
Right.
You still here?
Right.
Anyway.
Right.
We digress.
we love to have fun. Keep it light.
Well, I think that even though there's so many more branches to self-beliefs that we could go down, I think that it would just beat a dead horse.
Yeah. And
I think that
ultimately you got to feel it to believe it, and you got to take action to reinforce those feelings and beliefs. So choose what you want and go in that direction for yourself. And Carrie is abundant in ramen, and I'm sure in every flavor.
And I will be soon, because I enjoy ramen too. I mean, it's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. It's cheaper than eggs right now.
Yes.
And you can't get away from that statement anywhere right now. It doesn't matter how hard you try. The price of eggs is everywhere.
Yeah.
But we're going to crack that code.
Yeah, it's still feeling abundant in this weird economy that we are going through, and we're not going to get into all that kind of talk. But at the end of the day, it's a struggle. There can be difficult the way things are, especially if you're living paycheck to paycheck kind of thing. So that's why it's so important to reinforce those beliefs and trust in those beliefs. So this way, more abundance flows in your direction. Because you open the door for abundance when you believe that you have it. And the gratitude is the key to that.
And interesting about food. Okay. Food. I don't want this taken anywhere else but food. A lot of things that are inexpensive, that are cheap, we're told time and again that it's not good for us because it's so processed. Okay. Guess what that is? Aside from true. So if you're not feeling very abundant right now, or if you're not very abundant right now and prosperous right now, and you're having to go out and purchase less inexpensive things to consume to keep the body alive, not good for you, guess what? You just enhanced.
It's not going to be good for you. Mm-hmm.
Now, while it may be true that it's not exactly what the body really wants to stay nourished and healthy, well, if you believe that, you're giving it more power. How's that for a final metaphor?
On that note, I'm starving.
I'm full up, so we're going to go ahead and say goodnight.
It's time for me to fill my abundant belly.
It's time to make your belly abundant. There we go.
Yes, there you go. That's it. Words.
So we will be back next Wednesday, same time, same channels. So, this went pretty well tonight, so I think we're going to continue on using Restream so that you can see the chat, and
yes, this
we can
was
be
fun.
on multiple stations. So it was a lot of fun. And
That's
that's
a lot
the
of fun
truth.
with the chat.
But everyone have an amazing week. And don't know what the topic is yet because it's my turn, I think.
Yes, it is. It'll unfold.
It'll unfold and I'll either promo it or not. But I'm not going to pressure myself either way. 6 p.m. next Wednesday, be here. We'll talk about something. Love you guys. Keep going.
Love you.